everybody, I'm Courtney Hashid, cookbook author and blogger. Welcome back to Court of Kitchen. Today I'm making a sweet treat. I'm making a soft and chewy vanilla cookie topped with chocolate hazelnut spread and whipped cream. Yeah, it's really, really good. So for the cookie, I'm not creaming butter and sugar together. I'm actually using a brown butter. If you haven't seen this trick lately, it seems to be everywhere. People are browning their butter. This is 3/4 of a pound of butter, which is a stick and a half of butter. Put it over medium-low heat. Don't go any higher than that or it will spit at you. If it starts spitting at all, turn it down. And it needs to just, well, it melts in no time, but it needs to come where there'll be a froth on top. You'll see it frothing. Keep stirring it. Don't walk away. You don't want to burn it. And then when you see it frothing, just keep stirring. And all of a sudden, it'll turn to a caramely color and you'll smell it. Take it straight off the heat. It was on this burner. I took it straight off the heat to cool off. So now while this cools, let's do the dry ingredients. So for the dry ingredients, right in here, I have 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now all I'm adding to that is 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So there's a half, and here's a 1/4. So 3/4 of baking soda, and then 1 full teaspoon of salt. Yes, you need the salt. These are sweet cookies, sweet vanilla cookies. That's it for the dry ingredients. It's all she wrote. I'm just gonna whisk it together so it's evenly distributed throughout. That's all. Perfect. Okay. Now for our wet ingredients. For our wet ingredients, I'm starting with a 1/4 cup of just white granulated sugar. So there's markers in this. This is a cup measurement. There's markers for a half, so I can see where half of a half is. So that's a 1/4 cup right in here. Now this one I have to pack. It's the brown sugar. Now I don't use ever light brown sugar. When it calls for brown sugar, whether it says light or dark, I use dark because it has so much more flavor. Excuse my mess. I was gonna do that, but you do have to pack this. Unlike your flour, don't pack your flour. Fluff it up before you put it in there. You want it as light and fluffy as possible. So, to our 1/4 cup of white sugar, this is also what makes these cookies so chewy and soft. A little bit more. I think we'll be about there. That's it. That's it. Okay. So those are 2 sugars. I'll clean that up later. Now eggs, room temperature, 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. I put it in here and whisked it just so it's easier to mix everything together. You don't have to, you could just put them right in this bowl and not have this extra bowl if you don't want to. And vanilla. Now these are vanilla cookies. So we want a tablespoon, not a teaspoon, a tablespoon of vanilla. So I am going to measure it. It's hard, for a teaspoon I don't need to measure, but for a tablespoon I want to measure. So we have the vanilla, full on tablespoon for vanilla cookies.
Are you gonna put the brown butter in there?
And the brown butter goes in last because remember we want it to cool. So we're putting that in last, letting it cool as long as possible. We are putting it in right now. Yeah. So this is all our wet ingredients. See how nice and toasty? You could smell it. It smells so good. Brown butter. Okay. Now you can use your handheld electric mixer if you want. I see no need. I mean, we're talking melted butter. We're talking 2 sugars, an egg yolk, and vanilla. That's it. This will come together in seconds. And I have to bring out my handheld later to make the whipped cream. And everything with that has to be completely clean or it won't whip. So I take the chance. Just do this. It's already mixed together. That's perfect. So now let's move this over here and move this over here. So now our dry, we're gonna do half. Start with half of our wet into our dry. Look at that, it looks like caramel sauce, oh gosh. Okay, start with about half. And then I'm gonna start with a spatula just so the flour doesn't go everywhere. So I'm gonna kind of fold it at first in like this, because you know, if you do any baking or deal with flour at all, you know, it's a colossal mess in the beginning till you get some things pulled together. So I think it's easiest just to use your spatula. And every time I use my handheld mixer, no matter, I put it on the lowest speed and it still goes everywhere on me. So I like starting it like this. Okay, now you see most of that is mixed into where it's not gonna fly about. So let's put the rest of our wet in. Yeah, I just want to kind of lick that bowl with that brown butter. Oh my gosh. This should come together really quickly now. Now with this batter, they're cookies. We've got all that butter, all that sugar. You know, it's going to be a sturdy batter, but we need it even sturdier in order to scoop them out and put them on the sheet pan to cook, which we know what that means, right? Unfortunately, we have to wait. They have to be put in the fridge. So, and you don't want to overmix this. You just want it to be smooth, but don't overmix. Don't overmix your dough. It's just about there. So yeah, it has to go in your fridge for bare minimum 30 minutes. 45 to an hour is best. So that's what I'm gonna do. And you can do all this the night before. Put some cellophane over it. And the next day, whenever you wanna make them, take them out, scoop them, put them right in your oven. They're best cold, and look at that. Look at all that butter. It doesn't even stick into the spatula. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, this is our batter. It's gonna go in the fridge. I'm gonna cover it with some plastic wrap. I'm gonna put it in the fridge for about 45 minutes to an hour. We come back, we're gonna scoop it out, put them in the oven. They go in the oven for 11 minutes, 350. And while they're baking, I'll show you how we make the toppings that go on. As part, see it, just a few. Our batter has rested in the fridge. I gave it an hour. You see how it's pretty solid. Now I'm using a pretty small scooper here. Most people, it seems like big cookies. So if you make a bigger cookie, like at least an ounce, maybe even 2 ounce sized scooper, it'll make about 16 cookies for you. And they'll take about 11 minutes in the oven. These are tiny. I like small cookies. I like to have 2 cookies, 2 small ones instead of 1 big one. I don't know, it's just me. So these will probably only take about 8 minutes. Have the oven preheated at 350. So I'm putting 16 on here. You want to make sure you give them a good 1.5 inch space in between. But again, these are tiny guys. So, and it's hard to not eat this batter. It's so good. That brown butter and that brown sugar. So good. Now, buddy. Okay, one more. Now, as far as, like I said, I'm just making 16 now. I'm gonna put this dough right back in the fridge. And I'll make another batch tonight if I need another batch tonight. If not, I'll put it in the fridge. If I'm gonna make them tomorrow, I'll make them tomorrow. And then if you make them all, it's best if you don't want them in your fridge for more than a couple days, make them all and they're perfect in your fridge cooked. Just don't top them. Top them when the night you make them, and or put it in your freezer. It'll stay in there for months. So I'm gonna pop these guys in. There's my oven, 350. Pop these guys in. I'm gonna check them after 8 minutes because they're tiny. So here we go. Timer, 8 minutes. Okay, now what goes on these? We know that we're putting on chocolate hazelnut spread. But first we have to make whipped cream. So let's do that. Okay. This goes on afterwards. So cup of heavy cream. Ew. Who doesn't like fresh whipped cream? Perfect. 1 cup. Now I don't like my whipped cream to be extra sweet. The cookies are very sweet. You saw how much sugar, brown sugar, regular sugar went in there. This is 1 tablespoon of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar. You can put in 2, don't go past 2. If you like real sweet, but between the cookies, the chocolate spread, I think it's sweet enough with 1 tablespoon. I want to taste the cream itself. And about 1/2 to a teaspoon, you know what I mean, the vanilla. I'm putting in about a teaspoon. So now I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna use my mixer, my stand mixer. Now, when you're making whipped cream, the bowl, the beaters, everything have to be completely clean. There can't be any traces of oil or anything in it, or it will not be for you. We're looking for medium to stiff peaks. Here, don't try to get too stiff. You risk turning them into butter, and that makes a mess. You don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna mix this. This'll take about, depends on your mixer, of course. It'll take about 3-4 minutes. This will be waiting. We have the spread. When the cookies come out, they do have to rest because of course we can't put chocolate on hot cookies. It'll just melt right off. So we'll let them rest for about 15 minutes. We come back, we'll top these off, and we'll be all done. Our beautiful cookies will be ready. You'll see it in just about 15 minutes. Our soft and chewy cookies are out of the oven. I forgot to mention, the way you know that they're done, these, because they were small, I did take them out after 8 minutes. When they're golden, they might be a little bit more golden around the outside. The center is puffed up, but it still looks gooey. You do want it to still look gooey. You won't get that chewy texture that you're looking for. And then I took them out, I let them rest for 15 minutes. So now we can top with our chocolate. Now this is up to you. I just like a nice even layer. My gosh, the cookies are so soft. They're supple. Now if you can have hazelnuts, just melt down some chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. Put a couple teaspoons of heavy cream in them, melt it together, let it cool, and you could use that just the same exact way. So let me just do a couple more of these. Now again, these made 16. I have a whole heck of a lot more of batter in the fridge to make a lot more of these. I can't wait for these, and I think you get the point. That. So let me put on, this is our beautiful whipped cream. Look at that. Now that's a cookie. And they're so pretty. I mean, who doesn't want one of these sitting out? And I like them this size. But if you like those big cookies, you can make those big cookies. I'll top the rest, but I really want to taste one of these because smell this brown butter and everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I don't know if that should be illegal. That brown butter, a little bit of chocolate, and because I didn't overly sweeten the whipped cream, you just get that light pillowy cream on top. If you like ooey gooey, chewy, and soft cookies, these are for you. You have to make them. Make a big tray of them. If you don't have a lot of people coming over, these stay easy. You can make all the cookies, just don't top them until you need to. You can keep them in the fridge or in the freezer. Take them out the day you want them and then top them. They are so unbelievably good. They melt in your mouth. So make these for your family and friends. They're gonna go like you wouldn't believe. Thank you for watching. Your likes, shares, and comments always make me happy. So please keep them coming. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Remember, hit Moby's cute little bell icon over there. If you haven't checked out my books, Chowders and Shakeups for the Week, Continental Taste Volume 1 and Continental Taste Volume 2, They're both available on Barnes & Noble and on Amazon, and you could always check out my website, CourtneyHashy.com, for more fun recipes and a lot of other fun things. And as you always know, until I see you again very soon, I'm always sending hugs. These are about to disappear, I think.